Yeah. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. I'm your host, Ben. Let's get it, baby. So the Lakers land Ayton, Angels on the edge, and the 49ers bracing for training camp drama, baby. Let's get into it. What up? Hope you all had a great 4th of July weekend. We back here with the West Coast Triple Play Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. What up? If you haven't subscribed yet, guys, what are you guys waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like. Hit that share. Let people know about these 3 teams, 1 state, and a summer full of breaking points. The Lakers just went all in. The Angels are flirting with buyers and sellers. And the 49ers, let's just say their training camp could be their most dramatic yet. Let's dive into it. This is West Coast Triple Play Podcast, bringing you all the great news for the 3 teams, guys. Let's go. So is the Lakers all in or all over? Let's kick it off. Let's kick it off with the purple and gold because the Lakers just hit the gas, baby. They hitting that gas quick. The front office moves. Rob Pelinka used the $14.1 million MLE wisely. Deandre Ayton joins the squad on a 2-year deal. Jake LaRavia brings wing dip, and the rookie Adoree Thiero gets a 3-year deal to develop. That fills the roster to 15. But here's the catch. They're flirting with that fine line, sitting just under $908,000 and facing a $21 million tax bill if no changes happen before July 20th. Shake Milton's $3 million deal still not guaranteed. So we got that center rotation and trade flexibility. Ayton's the new anchor in the paint, while Jackson Hayes re-signed for a 1-year deal and even waived his no trade clause. That gives LA flexibility if a better big becomes available. And they still sit in talks for names like Nick Claxton, Walker Kessler, or even Jalen Duran. So LeBron James, Luka, and long-term vision, LeBron opted into his $52.6 million, no trade clause and all. But Rich Paul made it clear, we need more, baby, we need more. Right? So meanwhile, Luka Doncic is eligible for a $228 million extension in August. All signs point to the long-term commitment. What do you guys think? So with that, guys, ownership and shockwaves in the bombshell. So the Buss family sold majority ownership to Mark Walter in a $10 million deal. $10 billion deal. Jeannie Buss stays on as a governor, but the power dynamics, they shifted. And then you got Durant deal, domino effect, and there's the 7-team Kevin Durant blockbuster trade. KD lands in Houston. The Lakers walk away with the Thiero picks and cash, but no star. So the West just got wilder, and LA has decisions to make right now. So the roster is full, but the pressure is fuller. LA has to decide fast if they're pushing chips in for a true title run, or they're saving salary cap flexibility for Luka's long-term future. Either way, the clock's ticking, baby. So let's get into it. Yeah, what do you guys think? Should we be saving that salary for Luka Doncic's long-term commitment? Or what do you think we should be looking for? Let me know in the comments, guys. The deadline's coming up for the Angels, baby. A fragile push. Now let's shift to the Angels. Now shifting to the Angels are 4 games under 500. And every day feels like a coin flip, man. You don't know with this Angels team sometimes. I mean, this last series they had a possibility to get at least 2 out of 3. You know, going into extra innings, they just didn't capitalize. You know what I mean? Injuries and roster juggling, man. You got Christian Moore, 3 home runs, a 189 average. He hit the 10-day IL with a sprained thumb after a diving grab in Atlanta. Chad Stevens gets the call up and already notched a hit off Max Scherzer. Hector Neris, gone, baby. He was released July 3rd after posting a rough 5.14 ERA and already scooped up by the Houston Astros. Trade rumors heating up as well. Taylor Ward in the name on everyone's lips. His power makes him a premium trade chip. Meanwhile, whispers of a Zac Gallen blockbuster are real. The Angels are linked to the Diamondbacks ace and could flip the season's tone completely. We'll see what we do, man. What are you guys thinking? Who should we pick up? If we should pick up, or if we should just leave the roster as is? Let me know in the comments, baby. Bullpen dual identity. Overall, bullpen ERA is still a league worst, 7.1. But since May 25th, a shocking sharp 1.82 ERA. Sam Bachman just came back from the AAA and bringing a live arm and sub 1.00 ERA. And then we got tonight's matchup. Kikuchi, was it 3-6, 2.81 ERA, takes the hill against Jacob deGrom. This could be a tone setting heading into the All-Star break, man. This team is on the edge. If the bullpen holds and Ward stays hot, they could buy. But if they continue to slide, the Angels might sell the house, baby. Who knows? You know, keep your eyes on Gallen, Ward, and the mood inside that clubhouse, you know? I think if they continue to win, we continue to push. I think the roster is solid as we are, man. You know, once we get these guys coming back from the IL, get healthy, get out of these slumps that we're in, you know, kind of surprised. I mean, Mike Trout's been there, but you haven't really seen that productivity, you know, that production from that spot, you know. But hey, it happens, you know. You're not always gonna be, you know, the top of every stat, you know, every batting stats, stuff like that too. You know, you go through slumps. It's baseball. You know, baseball can change from one day to the next, one game from the next. You know what I mean? But yeah. What about them 49ers, baby? Camp countdown and culture check. Last but never least, your San Francisco 49ers, with training camp just days away, the storylines are heating up, baby. Off-season blueprint. Call it back to basics. They re-signed core leaders like Fred Warner, George Kittle, Brock Purdy. They brought back Robert Saleh to rebuild the defense and added both vets like Bryce Huff and rookies like Alfred Collins to deepen the trenches, baby. Let's do it. Let's get it. So Saleh's what? Saleh's defense overhaul with Saints. With Saleh, my bad. With Saleh back as DC, the scheme gets even more aggressive. And we could see up to 7 new starters on D, man. You know, Bryce Huff should thrive with his hand in the dirt again. His motor fits this system perfectly, man. Coming off the edge. Heck yeah. And then you got the quarterback room. You got that vibe check up in there. Purdy's your clear number 1. But Mac Jones, he's not just a clipboard guy. You know, the former Patriot is embracing the grind. You know, diving into the Shanahan playbook, showing his flashes that he could be a rookie, not a rookie. He ain't no rookie. He could be a rock solid QB2, you know what I mean? That's what we need, you know, just in case. You never know, you know. Brock Purdy may go down, who knows, you know. But we need to have that solid QB2, you know what I mean? be there to pull the reins after that. Training camp begins July 15th. Rookies report July 15th. Bets by the 22nd. There's buzz around joint practices with the Broncos and the Raiders. And don't sleep on the cornerback battle. Yamador Lenore, Upton Stout, Trey Brown, and Saron Neal are all in the mix, baby. Hey, that's what brings the competition. That's what brings out the best in these guys, you know? Competition, that fight, that battle for that starting, cornerback position. You know what I mean? Lenore's legal issues. A curveball. Lenore was arrested for obstruction in LA during a traffic stop. He's out on release with the court date July 25th. That could impact his role, especially if so much depth at the cornerback position. You know, Kittle's secret weapon. George Kittle is training with the Vasper machine. Think blood flow restriction and cold compressions. He's reportedly sleeping better, feeling rejuvenated, and hungry for another All-Pro year. Which, man, that fool's a beast. George Kittle's gonna come out the woodworks. He's gonna tear it up. You're gonna see him catching them balls like he normally does. They're gonna be that yak team again. Yards after catch, baby. Taking it to the house after that catch. Shedding some tackles. Breaking some tackles. Getting them with that stiff arm, baby. You know what I mean? But yeah, we got it. George Kittle's that secret weapon, bro. You know, he's always been the go-to at the backfield, or anytime Brock Purdy gets in trouble, you know, they're dumping it down to George Kittle. Will Mac Jones make the most of his second chance, though? Can Salah's D get nasty again, baby? You got to get nasty in the trenches. You know what I mean? And how will Lenore's arrest affect his standings? I think he'll be good. I think he'll be okay. I mean, you know, it's a tough situation, but, you know, they'll get through it. But the Niners, they don't lack talent, baby. You know, but discipline and depth will define this mini camp. So camp's coming up. We got to make sure that we are ready to go to get that Super Bowl. Get to that ship, bro. Get that 7th ring. Excuse me, man. God, what's going on with my throat today? But this week's takeaways, guys. The Lakers are loading up, but the pressure is rising. The Angels are teetering between go for it and blow it up. And the 49ers, they got the roster, but culture and competition will set the tone, baby. You know what I mean? But whatever happens next, we'll be here to break it all down. Only on the West Coast Triple Play podcast, bro. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, like, and share with your squad. Once again, I'm Ben. Catch you guys on the next one, baby. We out. Keep it West Coast, baby. Peace. Catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button, baby. Love you guys. We're over 100 subscribers already. Let's hit that 200 mark soon, baby. Let's get it. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. West Coast Triple Play. That's the show today, guys. Catch you guys on the next one. We out. Peace.